Hungary, October 1944. Budapest was seething with war, its narrow streets filled with fear and tension. In the ancient Buda Palace sat Miklós Horthy, the Hungarian regent, a weary man whose features had been worn by the cruelty of war and politics. He had finally decided it was time to end the alliance with Nazi Germany. The war had exhausted his country, and Hungary's young men were being buried on fronts they had no business fighting. The Germans were watching closely. They realized that Horthy was preparing to change course. But they weren't relying solely on espionage, it was an internal betrayal that would change the course of events. On a cold autumn evening, Colonel Laszlo Birchi entered. No one knew that he had sold his conscience a few days earlier to Nazi intelligence officers. With a cold stare, he said to Horthy, "Your Majesty, the troops are ready to protect the capital if you decide to declare your withdrawal from the war." The reality was quite the opposite. The next day, Horthy went on the radio with his courageous speech, "Hungarian people, in the name of the fatherland and history, I declare our withdrawal from our alliance with Germany." The voice barely covered the sounds of bombing in the distance. But before he could complete the statement, German intelligence had already taken action. In a small villa north of Budapest, Miklós Horthy Jr. was writing a letter. Nazi commandos led by Otto Skorzeny descended. The son was taken away in a black military vehicle and, close to the Austrian border, delivered to SS headquarters. At noon, Horthy Sr. received the message, "Your son is in our custody. If you do not retract your declaration, you will receive his body in the morning." Horthy faced a fatal choice between his fatherland and his blood, between freedom and his life. The decision wasn't easy, but he was a father before a politician. On the evening of October 16, Horthy announced in another statement, this time under threat, the reversal of his decision to withdraw. He was reinstalled with nominal power, while the Arrow Cross Party seized actual power with German support. Miklós Horthy Jr. remained in captivity until the end of the war. In his study, Horthy Sr. sat alone, looking at a picture of his son and a cracked map of Europe. He had lost a battle, and perhaps his country, but he hoped history would record his position.